Good morning, everyone. It's Miss T. I hope everyone enjoyed their weekend. Slept well last night, woke up this morning, and spent some time with the Lord. Um, at, we always need to thank God for waking us up in the morning because a lot of people did not wake up this morning. Um, what I wanted to talk about today is society. The pressure. Society only wants you to feel. They only put out what they feel is important for, or a feel good story, or a devastating story. Like we all come together. Like on that day, we all come together and just stop whatever evil one is doing. There was a very tragedy. A man took the life of I believe it was his 7 children and their cousin, and there's 2 women or 8 children, and there's 2 women and another child that are fighting for their life. His life was taken by the police. And so at that time, it became news all over I'm assuming all over the world, because that is a very tragic story. But when we really think about it, when we take time to ponder on it, or, just a moment of silence or whatever, we're not remembering there were lives taken the day before, lives taken that same day, lives taken the day after, and will continue. This is just a story that was put out in the forefront, because the amount of people, and especially the number of children. It's a terrible tragedy. But it goes on every day. Evil doesn't stop, doesn't take a vacation, doesn't call in sick. The devil and his soldiers are never sleep. They can't sleep. They have souls to ruin. They have souls to take with them. They have lives to jeopardize. They have all kinds of things to do. So they're not asleep. So when you're resting, that's why you're not safe. While you're asleep in your own house, in your own home, or wherever, because they work 24 hours. Especially when our Bible tells us the closer to the end of the world, that it will be like double time. They have to, he recruits more and more and more and more soldiers, and then that allows them to wreak more and more havoc on the world. I don't know what the situation was with, of course they say, I guess she was going to leave him, and this is what he chose to do. We can't be in the mind, if you don't understand a reprobate mind, and you can't fathom just evil, because there's a lot of people just don't understand just the concept of how a person can be so evil that they do the most evil, devilish things, then you're not going to understand how this is capable. The only thing you know is God's word. He will tell you. The word will tell you why it's capable. Because of sin. Sin has become rampant over the years. We've, sin is not new, and it never will be, but the way that people behave and do things is becoming just like unbelievable. You couldn't even, who sits around and thinks of some of the stuff that people do to be evil? And I never understand how a person can do evil to a child. Children are the most precious beings on the earth. The first reason is because when you come into this world, you have no ill intent. You have no ill intent. You're born into sin, but you have to be taught sin. You don't have, when you're a baby, you don't know that, to do something. They're just looking for love. They're just looking for someone to hug, feed and cuddle, talk to them, or whatever. Evil's not even a thought in their mind, because they really are not. That's why God doesn't really, if you don't understand or you don't know, you can't sin about things that you don't know until you learn. And that's why he's saying that he's not going to return until everyone knows the truth, because he can't punish anyone for something that they don't even know, that was hidden from them, that was removed from them, that was turned around and said, or and he knows that's what happened. So he's given this opportunity for you to learn the truth. And I always state the fact that you need to read the Ethiopian Bible, the Book of Enoch, the Book of Jubilees, and there's others. You can get all the books. You can just Google what books were removed from the Bible. It'll give you a list, and then you can go and purchase some of those books so that you can read the truth. You can understand why religion is what man has made it was so complicated. Why there's so many different religions and so many different, because man had put his hand in it. He turned the Word of God into a instruction book on how to live life the way they wanted it to go. So you can't have a Bible that says one thing and then you do something else. You have to either, and what is so, sin is, when I say sin doesn't make any sense, so you have a Bible and you're trying to remove things out of it so that people don't know the real truth, and then you put up this narrative of who Jesus is, who God is, but you leave the scripture in the Bible that describes Jesus. How do you did you overlook that? Was that not important because you can explain that away? But feet of brass and hair like wool does not show the picture that we've all seen and recognized to be Jesus, which is not. And so not even caring that you're not even doing a thorough job of deceit shows the minds of evil. And it's not about race because the Bible never says color. It just says of color. It just says a different, skin like olive, or whatever. But however you put it, it doesn't it doesn't say any fair, But you will just have to read the Bible, pray, and read the true Bible for yourself. The chapters that are missing, the books that are telling the truth, and when you study, you can understand what you couldn't understand before, because we didn't know that there was, well, maybe some all along knew, but when you're raised in the church, basically you were taught that the Bible was the golden rule, that was the word, and so you wouldn't have thought that anything was, it was taken out of it. You're just taking it for, And that's why when people couldn't understand, they try to say you needed someone to interpret it. That's because you took the books out, so it made no sense. But God has got his hand in all of it. He is saying he is such a loving God that he's willing to give everyone a chance to know the truth and come to him before it's too late. And he's also telling you, if you come to him, he will protect you. He never said you wouldn't have problems. He didn't say no weapons will form. He said no weapons form. So what he's saying is the things that are going to come against you, in the end, you will prevail. You will get over all of it. He will help you. He will protect you. He will set you in the right place. You won't even know some of it. You could have planned to do something, and then at the last minute you chose not to do it, but you didn't know that there was going to be a 20-car pile up on the freeway, and you were going to be a part of that. He allows you to walk in peace when you're serving him and doing his will. Sometimes you will run into people who, because I don't care how kind you are, how nice of a person and I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about anyone on this earth. Everyone is not going to like you for whatever reason. They're not going to like you, and what the devil will do is they'll use those people to try to push you to do fall backwards or to forget the path that you're on. So you have to be mindful of people or how the devil uses people to be a stumbling block or to try and force your hand. Because like I said before, what people, when they know you or they feel like you're not real or whatever, they're just waiting for you to stumble so that they can say, I knew that this wasn't real, she wasn't real, he wasn't real, this is all gaslighting, this is fake, and this is whatever. But if you choose to follow the God and you want to put out his word and you want to be real about it, you have to stay in prayer constantly, because people will try you every day, no matter where you're at. And that's the devil. But it also is, God allows, I used to pray and ask him not to put me in certain circumstances, but if I didn't get in those circumstances, how would I know my faith? How would I know that I'm truly changed or I'm truly changing? Because you can be, basically when you're growing up, because my grandmother was my mentor and taught me and showed me everything that I know. But she also was, she came from an era where, how they were belittled and, so she always wanted me to stand up for myself and to be tough and strong. Like I said this one before in another, I thought she was raising me to be her grandson, because her big thing was she wanted me to know how to fight. She used to teach me how to fight and instilled in me if I didn't fight back, I would be in trouble with her. So you don't want to disappoint your grandmother, and you don't, you believe everything that she says, and it was true. I have to learn to fight back. But now what I have to learn is how to pick my battles. My battle is not with man. My battle is with the devil. He is the one who is trying to take my soul and to take my life. And so he uses people to try to do that. But it's not them. They can be used as puppets. They don't even know They don't even know what the purpose is. It's just that the devil puts it in their mind to try to discredit or make someone just give up. I give up. Nobody listens. Nobody cares. I'm just going to stop. That's the devil. You have to put in your mind, it's not people. I don't have anything against anyone. There are 2, maybe 3 family members of mine that I have to contact and ask for forgiveness and ask for them for, because of the way that they treated me. I pushed them aside, and it wasn't them, it was the work of the devil. So like God says, if you want to be forgiven, you have to forgive others. So I have to reach out to them, and please pray for me and help me to do that as of yesterday. It's easy to forgive some people, but others it's a little bit harder because of the severity of the emotion or whatever you're feeling inside. But God said to forgive everyone who does stuff against you. He doesn't say stay there and continue to be attacked or, treated badly. He just says forgive and then let it go. I don't have to be in their life. They don't have to be in my life for me to forgive and keep them in my prayers or whatever. My peace doesn't come from the enjoyment of how people are treat me, because I don't put anything past anyone. You could smile in my face and stab me in the back and come to the hospital and see how I'm doing. That's not my concern. My concern is what God has told me to do and how to be able to make it to the promised land, how to be able to get to heaven. And that is my main focus. That's my goal. That is what I want. That's where I want to be. So in order to do that, I have to act accordingly here on earth. So if I try to, be kind to people, I try, and I do fall, and I do ask for him to forgive me, pick me back up. That's how I make it day to day. I have to constantly pray. It does not come easy. From years of being mistreated or disrespected or all kinds of things, you carry that stuff with you that you have to let him remove. And so he's slowly removing those things, but it's still in a memory. We have memory, unfortunately. And so things do keep popping up, and you just have to keep praying that you can let those things go. It's no good for you to hold on to any type of bad memory, any type of bad thing that happened to you, in order for you to move on, to get released, to be a better person, to care about others, to not want people to go through what you went through. So it takes God to you to be constantly in communication with God all day. Pray about everything. That's me. I can't go through the day without praying about something, because especially the job that I have, I wouldn't be able. I probably would have been terminated years ago had it not been for God guiding me through. Because and I know people out there who are just trying to make it. They're trying to live life. They're trying to be a good person. They're trying to do the best that they can, but they just don't know the truth. They don't grasp that you can't do anything without God. Nothing. If you try to do it yourself, you're going to mess it up. If you try to have, get a group of people to do, you can only make it maneuver through this wicked world, through this life of yours, with God guiding you, for him to help you make the decisions that you need to make, for him to keep you calm through the storm, for him to pick you up when you fall, for him to give you vision to see things that aren't good for you, people, things, new things that come into your life, jobs, whatever it is. If you need to have God to maneuver you through it and focus. I just pray that people who are in the sound of my voice will just do an extra prayer. Will just pray a prayer, just a meaningful prayer, what you want God to do in your life, how you want God to change your ways, how you want him to maneuver you help you maneuver, and just work on that, and just ask him every day to add something, to remove something, to help your anger management. This world makes people angry. This world makes people sad. Some of it makes people their mind goes evil, their thoughts. Some people, they're ashamed of the thoughts that they have in their mind, and you can ask God to remove those. Some people allow the devil to keep those thoughts, and that's how they act upon them. But you can have, God will do anything to help you, and he doesn't care where you came from, how much money you have, if everybody else has written you off. He doesn't care anything about that. And so he's your father, your confidant, your best friend, your therapist, your savior. He's everything. When everybody else tells you that you're never going to be nothing, that you just got off of drugs and you're going to be right back on them again, that you just amount to nothing. God didn't make nothing. He made everyone in their image. He said, our image. And so what has happened is his image got tarnished because of sin. And so he's still fighting for the image that he made. He still wants you to be who he made you to be. He just needs to pick you up and dust you off, shine you up, and put you back where you were meant to be. So forget about what those people say about you, what those people think about you, because they can't do anything to help your life. They can't do anything to improve your life or to get you to heaven. They can't get you a ticket. They can't do anything for your salvation. So if they want to say that you'll never amount to anything, you don't even have to prove them wrong. You don't have to prove anything to them. The main thing is to be accepted by God. Have him proud of you. Have him know that you've changed. Have him see that you've changed. Nobody else counts, because they're all in the same boat. They may talk about you because they have just a little bit more than you. They may talk about you because they think, they're better than you, but they're still in the same boat. Because at the end, when God cracks the sky and the horns, if your life is not right, I don't care if you're look like a goddess, you're beautiful, you're a man with muscles. I don't care if you have $1 million in your bank account and have 42 cars in your driveway. If you did not serve the Lord, you're going to die. The wages of sin is death. So no one on this earth is greater than you. Society will tell you that because of, their money and all all those things that are not going to matter in the end. They will make your class and tell you that people are greater than you, but God said no one is greater than you. He doesn't love anyone more or less than you. He treats everyone fair, the same. Everyone is the same, and everyone is a sinner and has fallen short. And I don't know, you can read the Bible, you're not going to get away from it. He's going to tell you all the flaws, all the ways that you are not worthy. But because of mercy and grace and Jesus dying on the cross and being risen, that you have the opportunity to have his true love, to have him with you and to guide you through this world so that you can be in heaven. That's really all I had to say today. Bless the families of the 8 children and the whole family, and any other family who went through tragedy this weekend and this week, and who will continue. We just have to stay in constant prayer and believe in the word and know that God is real and he is coming soon. Jesus is coming soon. They're not up there, God is not up there just twiddling his thumbs and they're not up there just living. He is on the verge. He just weeps when he has to watch what's going on here, because he wants to save, especially these people that are going around unaliving people, just like they're God. God is the only one who says who, he's the one that created us, so he's the one who can take us and bring us here and remove us. People are interfering in that and and acting and pretending to be God and doing these kind of things, and he's on the verge. They're all just waiting, because the angels and all those, they don't know when Jesus is coming back, and they're just all just anxious, just looking down and like, it needs to stop. When is this going to stop? And God is going to say one day, it is done, and that's it. There's no there's no reasoning. There's no, please, my childhood, I didn't know. None of those excuses are going to work for you. When he says it is done, his mercy and grace have ended. And those who have followed his word and followed him will be saved. We'll be in a new home. And those who chose to know and not turn from their wicked ways will get their just paid, their price of what they've done. And if you think all the things on this earth that you're doing and all the things that you can do is worth your salvation, then you can continue to do what you're doing. But no one's going to have sympathy. No one's going to stand up for you. No, you don't have character witnesses that say, yeah, but none of that. It's over. It's done. And you have no more chances to make it right. So if you don't come to Jesus, God, now, tomorrow's not promised, and 15 minutes from now is not promised. So that's a decision that you will have to make, and I hope that you make the right decision soon. I'm telling you, it will be the best feeling that you have ever had. You can maneuver life just so gracious, just pain-free. I mean, when I say pain-free, I mean, these things are going around, and that you hear that Trump is trying to do this and that, but he can't do anything, because God has already written out what's going to happen. So no one can change that. And with that being said, I pray everyone has a blessed week. Love yourselves, love one another. come to God, and until next time.